Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Target Focused Life. My name's Steve and today I have a special guest. It's Joel Strickland from the YouTube channel Surviving Duck Season. And today we're gonna do a shotgun showdown. A little bit different than normal. Usually it's just me, but I got Joel here. He's a big time duck hunter. His channel covers all things duck hunting. Definitely check it out. But we're gonna put some shotguns to the test that people might be using for waterfowl hunting. Joel, you're up. You get to choose any gun.
Okay.
What's your pick?
Tell you what, I've been eyeing this A5 right here.
That's a sweet gun. You got the A5. Oh, I really enjoy it. It's about an $1,800 shotgun. This is the Wicked Wing, is about $2,000, but we're in the $1,800 ballpark, so I want to stay in the ballpark. Let's see. I think this would be a great comparison. Right here, what do you guys think? It's the Beretta A400 Extreme Plus. Both these guns are 3.5 inch. Both are about $1,800. We got inertia driven, gas driven. This will be a good head to head.
Absolutely.
Let's go. We're gonna get into the shotgun showdown, but first I gotta tell you guys, these showdowns are starting to cost me a bit of money between the guns, ammo, everything that goes into it. But fortunately, I picked up a sponsor to help out with this video. And coincidentally, it's a company that makes wallets. It's the Ridge. They sent me this wallet and I've been test driving it here for the last 45 days or so. This thing is awesome because I hate those big hunk wallets. I like something small and compact. And you're looking at this one going, well, that looks like it's there's a lot going on there. That's because it holds up to 12 cards. I don't usually have 12 cards. I usually have about 4 or 5, so the wallet's a lot smaller than this, but I wanted to show you the full capacity. It can go small, it can go bigger. And I got about 1,500 bucks of cash in here right now. I don't normally travel with 1,500 bucks of cash, so in case you see them in the street, I probably got like 75 cents in my pocket, just so you know. Don't come after me, man. The Ridge wallet comes in 30 different styles. This is gunmetal gray. Of course, what other color would I go with? It has RFID blocking technology, so no one can digitally pickpocket you. That's pretty sweet. And fits nicely in your pocket. I dropped out the cards, just have my few in there now. You either can have the money strap on back or it comes with a clip, so you can run a money clip. Either way, I just wanted to share this with you real quickly, guys. Lifetime warranty. You can try it out for 45 days. If you're interested, check the link in the description and you can use Target Focused for 10% off your order. Let's get to the video. Well, here we are. It's the first ever Shotgun Showdown collaboration. So this is gonna be interesting. We're both gonna go through our respective guns, compare them side by side, but then as we get shooting, we'll switch guns and give our feedback. Because at the end of this video, ultimately, we're gonna decide which gun is better. The Beretta A400 Extreme Plus or
the A5 by Browning.
Yes, both I think are great guns, but people wanna know which one's better. And that's what we're gonna help decide today. So one of the first things I like to look at, Joel, with shotguns is what does the manufacturer say? What are the selling points?
Browning says the A5 is the most reliable, softest shooting, best balanced, recoil operated auto loader on the planet.
Holy cows. I mean, do we even need to do a showdown? Obviously,
we're done.
That gun wins. But Beretta claims that this is the next evolution of waterfowl shotgun, and it's the softest shooting waterfowl shotgun on the market. So not softest recoil operated,
right,
but softest shotgun on the market for waterfowl.
Okay.
We're gonna put that to the test a little bit. We're gonna shoot these side by side, each get our feedback. The MSRP of this is $18.49, but of course, as always, I got this gun from Reed's. You can find it much below the MSRP. How about the A5?
The A5 is $19.95. This is the Wicked Wings edition of it.
Yes, and the Wicked Wing is like the highest end, or one of the higher ends. You can get the camel version though in that $1,800 ballpark. So we are comparing similar price point shotguns. That's something I always try to do. So throughout the course of this video, we're gonna go over a lot of different things. We're gonna be talking specs, we're gonna be talking recoil and reliability, speed shooting, ergonomics, all those things. If there's a specific spot in the video you wanna jump to, just check the description or the timeline, you can jump right to it. First thing I always like to start with, Joel, are the specs. We're just gonna run through, these is just the quick and dirty specs of the shotguns. Both 12 gauges, both 3.5 inch chambers, both
waterfowl guns.
Waterfowl guns, intended use. So what is different about these guns? I think both 28-inch barrels. A lot the same, but there are some differences with these guns. First, the A400 Extreme Plus is gas operated, where the A5?
Inertia.
Inertia, or as Browning calls it, their kinematic drive. Just a different way of saying inertia. So different operating systems. Some of that is going to come down to recoil. We're going to test that out, and reliability. Some of that's going to come down to how easy they break down for cleaning and maintenance. A400 comes in at 8 pounds.
The A5 comes in at 7.5.
So a little bit lighter, and just when you hold the gun and feel it, that's an 8-pound gun.
Yep.
It feels very significant.
Yeah. You wouldn't think a half a pound makes that much of a difference.
No.
But it does.
Yeah. It feels significantly different. Not that the A400 feels bad, but you get it in your hands, you're like, ooh, that's a hunk there.
Yeah.
You know, we can look at all the specs, we can look at the length of pull, which out of the box, this comes at 14.5 inches.
The A5 is 14.25.
But both of these are adjustable. The A5 has spacers, so you can make it longer. Out of the box, this comes 14.5, which fits me really well. 14.25 is a little bit short for me, but what's cool is this gun can actually go down to 14 inches and all the way up to 15, where you can only get a little bit longer on the A5, starting at 14.25 and going up. Why don't you mount that gun, Joel, and just see how it feels for you.
Okay. It actually fits me really well.
So that's 14.25, and you're about how big?
5'7".
5'7". I'm 5'11", a few inches taller. Now, height isn't the only consideration when we're looking at length of pull, but that does play into it. Generally have longer arms. How big your chest is plays into it. What kind of clothes you're going to be wearing. If I was wearing big, bulky duck clothes, I might want a little shorter length of pull. But this fits me in the clothes that I'm wearing today. Drop at comb is also another consideration. And there's a considerable difference between the drop at comb and drop at heel on this gun. The drop at comb is 1.5 inches and 2.5 inches. So we have 1 inch of drop on this comb. Where what's the A5?
This is 1.75 to 2 inch.
Right, so it's got a lot flatter comb.
It's all about what it feels like when you get it shouldered.
Yeah, so let's mount again and just, I mean, you said the length fits you pretty well on that gun. But then how does your head line up and down?
Yeah, I'm right in there.
Okay, and I feel like this is spot on for me. I mount that so naturally.
Okay. I got to settle into mine just a little bit more, this one.
So on the A5, what I notice is it doesn't mount quite as natural for me.
Yeah.
My head generally sits a little high on it. And there's a fine line on that A5 that your head's a little high, but then you drop down and all of a sudden both your beads disappear. And so that's partly the receiver. Now I've shot this gun quite a bit, done a review on it. I really enjoy shooting it, but as far as pulling the gun up, this one fits me better, but it sounds like you're saying,
yeah, I think
that's
it's
more
opposite.
natural.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. We'll see when we actually shoot the guns.
Yes. Both these shotguns come with extended choke tubes, but I noticed yours is kind of shiny. It looks like a goose band, actually. What's your thoughts of using that in the field? Is that...
You know, that doesn't bother me a bit, honestly. I mean, even like saying the yellow sticker too, same kind of thing. You know, it sticks out, but hey, be still. That's what it all comes down to. The bird's gonna see that moving and it might reflect the light, but as long as you're not moving, I don't think it's a big deal at all.
So as I mentioned earlier, both these are 28-inch barrels. Both of these guns have options for 26, 28, and 30 inch, depending on what variation or what model we're looking at. By the way, that A5 has like a ton of variations.
The A5 has 8 current and 19, is that right?
Yeah, 19 limited edition. So like they do SHOT Show specials, and so you might find it at some dealers, not at others. Who knows where you're gonna find it. But a lot of variations on the A5, not nearly as many on the A400. Now the last thing I wanna look at, Joel, when it comes to specs is trigger pull. I've ran both of these guns with my trigger scale. This shotgun has a 5-pound, 1.8 ounce average trigger pull, which is pretty nice. I kind of say anywhere between 5 and 6 pounds is kind of where I like triggers. Where did yours come in?
5 pounds, 7.5 ounces.
Okay, a little heavier trigger pull. You can't just put on a trigger scale and go by weight. I like to feel the trigger. So let's just feel these triggers, do a little dry fire. Guns are clear. My initial impression of this trigger, there's little pre-travel, it breaks nice. I'm pretty happy with this trigger, especially knowing that the weight is 5 pounds, 1.8 ounces. But I wanna do a little swap here. Okay, I'm gonna let you go first. Which one has the edge?
Actually, I feel like I like that one a little better than the A5.
You can't, this is my gun.
I'm sorry, I'm just being honest.
You know, I agree. I had the same thoughts. This just feels better. It's not just the weight. There's a different feel to it. It's just easier to break, less, I think a little less pre-travel. But all that comes to a head. I really feel like all this comes to a head when we do the speed shooting and we're on the clock and we're trying to shoot as fast as we can and successfully hit targets. That's when you notice this trigger is tough, or you know, those little things. So stay tuned to the very end, because the speed shooting is going to be a lot of fun. We got to choose an edge in each category. So just looking at the specs, including trigger pull, which one has the edge for you?
I say the A5.
Okay.
It's a little lighter.
Yep.
And knowing my size, I'm a little smaller build guy, it just seems like this is going to fit. Now I realize you can definitely tweak your gun and make it fit you better, but I like this one.
Well, I'm going to stick with this gun. It is a little heavier. I do like the lighter weight of that one, but it mounts great. It fits me right out of the box really nice. The trigger feels really good, so I'm sticking with this one. So as far as specs, we got a head-to-head tie so far going into it. Let's jump into the next category, which is ergonomics. This is the look, the feel, the function of the controls, how it feels in your hands, balance, all those things. The A400 feels great in the hands. It's a little meatier than some of the guns that I'm used to shooting. I like a narrower pistol grip, but I tell you what, this rubber overmolding feels great in the hands. The balance of this gun, I just feel like, yes, it's heavier, but it comes up so nice, spot on, love the balance. Looking at the controls, they oversized everything. They oversized the bolt release, the bolt handle, nice and big, even though I think it's kind of goofy design. The cross bolt safety, y'all know I'm not a huge fan of it on front of the trigger. It's not a deal killer for me. Prefer it back here, which is where it's at on the A5. But they milled out the loading port. I love that. That's a great feature. You're slamming shells in quickly, no sharp edges. You got gloves on. Just it makes it easier all the way around. This comb has a soft comb on top that honestly I think feels great. How big of a difference it makes, I don't know, but I think it feels great when I mount up. My head gets up just nice and firm to it. Some of these guns, just kind of a hard plastic. So I like that feature. Recoil pad, it's got the whole kickoff system. They put a lot of work into their stock. We'll test that when it comes to recoil. It's got a double bead, brass mid bead, fiber on front. Who cares about fiber? Focus on your target. We've talked about that countless times. Now, Joel, tell me what you think of the A5 as far as the form, the function, how it feels in your hands, how the controls operate. What stands out? It
feels really good. I like, you know, it feels real good. The grip feels nice. It shoulders well. The balance is really nice. You know, being a smaller frame guy, I throw this up and it just goes right in there.
How about the controls? A few things to point out on the controls on that one. They are oversized as well. Has an oversized bolt release. The bolt handle is not overly large, but I think it's highly functional.
Totally.
What do you think of the safety? Nice big safety.
Love the big safety, absolutely. This one, although it's very nice, it fits really well, it's well balanced, it doesn't have a lot of the little extras that this one seems to have, you know, with the rubber coating on it and that sort of thing. You know, this one I noticed feels just a little bit cold in my hands compared to this one.
Yeah, it's a cool morning. It's in the 30s this morning. And I noticed, I mean, I didn't notice it at first, but you said to me off camera, how does that feel in the cold? And I thought, you know, it doesn't feel bad. Actually, the sun is hitting this black. It's warming it up a little bit. And then we switched all of a sudden. And I went, holy cow.
Big difference.
Yeah, like, my hands are instantly cold holding onto this gun. So that might be a consideration. If you got gloves on, I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. But if you're hunting this type of weather, maybe you don't have gloves on, this is a lot more enjoyable to hold. Brownie did do a few really nice things. If we close the bolt, this is nickel Teflon finish, which is supposed to be super durable, easy to clean. We talked briefly about ergonomics of these guns. We got to give the edge to one. I'll go first on this one. I've really enjoyed shooting this gun. I've done a full review on it. I've done full reviews on both these. Feel free to check those out, get a little more in-depth on it. Love the trigger guard here. Like the controls, but I think I got to just go with this one. Love the rubber overmolding and just so many things about this gun, how it's milled out. Going with the A400 when it comes to ergonomics. What do you choose?
Honestly, I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
He agrees. Moving on to the next category, which is recoil and reliability. This is where it starts to get fun, Joel. I hope you got loosened up because we're going to chuck the gun full of federal shells, start pounding rounds, and see how well they cycle and operate from from different ways, and then how it feels on our shoulder as far as recoil and into our face. Ready?
Let's
Ready
do
to
it.
Shoot?
Yeah.
Joel's gonna go first with the A5, 3 shots from the shoulder, then I'm gonna hand him the A400, and then just give us your feedback. Did you feel any difference?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
The recoil on this one is a little bit stronger than on the A5.
No kidding.
That's what I
Even
felt.
though you have a heavier gun, this is gas operated, you felt this was heavier.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
I'm gonna do it myself
okay.
here. There we go. Oh man, the impulse is very different, but I think it's really hard to decide if it's heavier or not between the two guns. It does feel different. Now, one thing with recoil can come down to gun fit. So you've already said a few times, this gun fits you better. I've already said this one fits me better. So I felt like recoil, although it felt a little bit different, was about the same.
Okay.
I didn't have one that really jumped out at me. Those were target loads.
Yeah.
These are waterfowl shotguns.
There you go.
I got some blindside.
Okay.
We'll just do one. Side by side. These are 3-inch, 1 1/8 ounce, black cloud. Ooh, that was not a target load, I can tell you that much.
Okay. Felt like this one was a little more.
A little more
A
recoil?
little more. Just a little. It's very similar. What did you think?
On the target load, you thought this was lighter shooting, but on that, you thought this was lighter shooting.
Yep.
Now, my experience between the two, actually, this one delivered more punch into my shoulder. This one got me in the face a little bit. I felt it up into my face.
Now that you mention it, I do feel, I mean, I knew that something was different about it, but that is what I felt.
Yeah, and this gun fits me well. So you wouldn't expect that as much, but I did take some more recoil in the face. The impulse into my shoulder was maybe a little bit lighter, but into my face was more, and I don't really love that because eventually I'm gonna start flinching subconsciously, getting kicked in the face. These are 3.5-inch guns.
Okay.
This is where the rubber meets the road, man. Woo, baby! Okay, I got my thoughts.
It's a different kick.
It is a different impulse for sure.
That one was still a little stouter than this one, but this one, you feel a little sting on the side of your face.
And a few shots, that's not a big deal, but after a while, you keep getting hit in the face, you kind of want to pull off a little bit. Now we're shooting 3.5s. What are your thoughts on 3.5s?
I don't shoot 3.5s.
I don't shoot 3.5s, but a lot of people do.
Right.
And that's why I like to review the 3.5-inch guns, because people do. I would much prefer, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this. I'm the shotgun guy, but you're the duck hunting guy. I would much prefer to shoot a 3-inch shell that has better metals than steel. You know, whether a bismuth or a tungsten. Yeah, they're more money, but I don't have to shoot a 3.5-inch. And I just feel like it's gonna be more enjoyable to shoot and you're gonna get better performance. What's your thoughts?
I totally agree. In fact, we're finding that even stepping down to a 2 3/4 often is very, you can do that totally when you're going with denser metals.
Yeah.
Even going down to the sub gauges, 20 gauge, maybe even 28. I know quite a few people going to 28 gauges using the heavier metals.
One of the tests I like to do is just take the gun upside down over the head. I'm gonna turn this way. Didn't cycle. Didn't cycle. Didn't cycle.
Wow.
Why in the world would I do that? You might be wondering. Some viewers are wondering. The reason I do that is because this is just a little reliability test. You know, if it's gonna cycle upside down over the head, it's gonna cycle the right way, more than likely. So now I'll be curious, if this one cycles upside down over the head, when it comes to reliability, this might have the edge. Oh, no problem, man. No problem. Okay, now I got a little test for you.
Okay.
Why don't you see if that A5 cycles upside down over the head with 3.5-inch?
Okay.
Oh!
You kicked that one out.
One last quick test is hip should be a little more reliable from the hip. I can hold it a little more firm. Okay, no problem from the hip. Didn't lock open on that one. This is a tough one. When it comes to reliability, I feel like this definitely has the edge. Not just on the limited experience we've had, but the shooting I've done, this cycles more reliably than that does.
I still say that one has a slight edge.
Slight edge? You know, I think it's a toss-up.
It's a toss-up because it depends on where you want to get your recoil.
Yeah.
And if it becomes a problem over and over, getting smacked in the face, that's going to change the way that you react when you shoot. You might be unconsciously worried about getting smacked in the face.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed shooting that. I think it feels great in the hands. So I'm going reliability here, recoil toss-up. So this still has the edge coming out of it, in my opinion. One of the areas that inertia guns shine is simplicity and breakdown, right? So we're gonna break both these guns down on the clock, not on the clock, but going head to head. People can see how simple or complicated the guns are, what's behind them. Ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go, folks. Gas gun versus inertia gun, that should be simpler. Joel should win in theory, but there's a few tricks on this A400. This cap comes off in like one turn, and it only has one pin. You have two. So this should be interesting. Can a gas gun beat an inertia gun? On your marks, get set, go.
Ah, come on now. Are you kidding me?
Boom!
Oh, come on, really?
Okay, and back together. Love tap. Sometimes you gotta love tap them. It's okay. Show them you care.
Yeah. Come on, you're killing me.
So I'm not surprised by the results. Because even though it's the gas gun that has a fewer moving parts, when it comes to gas guns, this comes apart really quick. This cap, it's done, it's off. I mean, you would still be going for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? When it comes to the gas system, the bolts and the gas system are all one piece, where some of the other guns are 3 or more pieces.
Yeah.
Super simple to break down, but we're now to the best part of the whole video. It's speed shooting. I'm gonna see if I can break my own speed records, which is a 1.20 on this gun. That's smoking fast, and a 1.24 on that gun. I'll see if I can break my records, and then Joel, I'm gonna throw clays for you.
Okay.
And see how fast you can shoot and if there's a big difference between the two guns.
Sounds good.
Here we go.
Got 3
Hey,
of
we're
them.
counting that one. That's a 190
Okay.
with the A5. Now, not to say you're missing a bunch, this is brand new to you,
Right.
but it took you a little while to get there. I'd be curious to see now when you pick up the A400, if you get there a little bit quicker.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
Let's do it.
Oh, and it worked. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I thought he's so used to duck hunting, if I say whack, whack, whack as I throw the clays, you just crushed him, dude.
Yeah. There you go.
187.
How about that?
Yeah. Woo, baby!
What was it? 1.12.
That is one of my top scores, I think, ever.
Wow.
Now, I've gotten a little bit better as I've gone on throughout the year doing this. 1.12. Beating that with the A5, I'm gonna give it a try. But it's gonna be tough. Woo,
Yeah!
baby, that was fast. 114.
Whoa!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that felt really good. Took me a 0.78 to get on it. That's fast. And then a 0.19. That's about average, and a 0.17 split. You shot this one faster. I shot this one faster. Originally, when I shot both guns in my reviews, I shot this one slightly faster. Again, that holds true. A 112, so I improved my score from my review, and a 114. But when it comes to speed shooting, I gotta go to this one. I think both of us got our shots quicker with this gun. One of the big things I noticed, Joel, was trigger.
Yeah.
I was wanting to pull that trigger and let off for a reset before it even broke. The trigger's stiff, or there's something about it that I was just not able to quickly run it. Really didn't have that issue with this. So, all things considered, we've looked at all these factors, Joel. You gotta choose a winner. Which one are you going with? You're gonna be duck hunting in a few weeks. If you had to grab one of these to head out, which one are you going with?
I'll tell you something. Just, doing the fast shooting, I'm going to shoot lots of shells through the thing. This loading was much faster and a lot easier, and not having to look at what you're doing. I really enjoyed that. It didn't fit me quite as well as this gun did. However, I felt like I liked the shooting experience better with that gun.
I thought we were going to have this head-to-head tie, but honestly, that was the plan going into the video. How can we make it a tie? But you're getting genuine, real feedback.
Yeah.
I always tell people when I do this speed shooting, that's where the rubber meets the road. That's when I really find out about the trigger and the balance and all these things coming together. And I gotta say, I've highly enjoyed the A5. You can watch the review on that. I talk about all the things I like about it. Great gun. But if I gotta choose one today, I'm choosing this one. I'm going the A400 Extreme Plus. But you know what? This is just two guys' opinions. We want to hear what do you have to say. Put it in the comments. If you had to choose one gun for the duck blind, is it the A5 or is it the A400 Extreme Plus? Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this shotgun showdown with my friend Joel here. If you haven't checked out his channel, please do. It's surviving duck season. And also remember, you're only gonna hit the shots that you're laser focused on. So live target focused. See ya.